Right then, you fuckers, let's talk a little bit about insulin and the role of insulin within fat gain. To be honest, there's a lot of people on social media these days who like to scaremonger you into thinking that insulin is the reason as to why you gain fat. That is not the case, and I'm about to use these two containers of water to explain exactly why that's not the case. So insulin is actually an incredibly beneficial and positive hormone. Despite the fact that a load of people try to make it out to be some sort of devil, you kind of need insulin to stay alive. The role of insulin is pretty simple. It's a hormone that's responsible for letting certain nutrients and molecules pass in and out of the body and get to where they need to be. The best way to describe what it is and the best way to compare it is kind of like the barriers at a train station. Imagine that a train station is your body and the people within that train station are the different nutrients and the different molecules needing to get to where they need to be. The trains and the train lines can be used to represent your bloodstream, and the cities or towns in which you're going can be used to represent where it is that you need to go. The barriers, the gates, is insulin. They open and close to let people pass through and out of it to get to where they need to go. Insulin is a barrier that basically says to which nutrients where they need to go, whether or not excess calories need to go and be stored as body fat, or whether or not calories can be used to go through the different energy systems and create ATP. And if you're still a little bit confused on its role within fat loss or fat gain, I want you to imagine that these two containers represent your body in calories. This mug right here can be used to represent your fat stores, and this bottle, shameless plug, I know, can be used to represent the amount of calories that you're consuming throughout the day and also any kind of excess calories. Now, without any cap on the top of this bottle, calories can literally be freely transferred between the external sources, so food, and your body's fat stores, which is obviously not ideal because you don't want to eat 500 calories from a piece of cake and instantly put on 500 calories worth of body fat because everyone would be completely overweight. Now, the role of insulin can be looked at like this cap. When you consume excess calories, so when you consume too many calories relative to what you burn off, the insulin says, okay, cool, you guys can basically go and be stored as fat in the body because basically you've eaten too much and we need to use it for excess fuel later in life. Now, when we were cavemen or cavewomen, that excess fuel could usually be used for long-term hunts, so when we went looking for food. But these days we don't really go on long-term hunts because we've got an Aldi next door, so it just stays there and then people get upset and people get unconfident with their body. If, however, you don't consume excess calories and you consume the right amount of calories, then insulin blocks those excess calories from being stored as body fat. No matter how much you try, that body fat is not being generated because you're not eating too many calories relative to what you burn off. It doesn't matter how sensitive you are to insulin. It doesn't matter about insulin spikes or anything like that. If you are not eating too many calories relative to what you burn off, you are not going to put on body fat. It's only when you eat too many calories relative to what you burn off that the insulin sensitivity comes into play because it basically tells your excess calories that they need to be stored as body fat. Insulin can be looked at as the instigator for fat loss or fat gain. So it's the thing that makes it all happen, but it's not the cause of it. The cause of it is eating too many calories and not burning off enough. I hope that makes sense and I hope that helps. If you've got any questions, feel free to comment below. If you like this video, give it a like. And if you want to catch any more free fitness or fat loss based content without any of the bullshit as always, make sure that you're either following my Instagram at k.p_health or subscribe to this channel. Peace.